Now this is really interesting. Gemma Steele is also operating at a very good pace, very fast pace for Gemma, and she'll be delighted the way things are going so far. And she's pretty much now at the halfway point in this race. She's certainly set a stall out and is in very good company there. Well, it's Mary Catani makes her way serenely towards South Shields. We are sitting at the finish line and we can look up the road here, and Andrew, I can already see in the distance the lights, the lead of the wheelchair race.
Yeah, it's a long straight. It's a long way ahead of Kitani at the moment, but this
behind Tiki Galana and Caroline Kalel, and hopefully now they'll be able to find some kind of rhythm and work together. As you said, Gemma's been racing very well on the road this year. She hasn't run yet on the track. Sorry, that noise, I don't know if you can hear that noise over the head, was the Red Arrows just practicing as they leave here on South Shields. But Gemma, as I said, been racing well over 10 kilometres. She won the Beach to Beacon in a very close race with Shalane Flanagan of the USA, who's actually getting ready to try and run sub 2:20 in Berlin. So Gemma in very good shape, and as we said, her personal best over the half marathon, I think, up for some revision, and she wants to get some confidence from this race as well to be able to decide and to
Mary Catani, who is eating up the roads and running excessively well here, running really quickly. She's been getting ready for this race. This may be the return of Mary Catani, and if it is, we'll see some fireworks from her later in the year.
4:31, and that's a pretty fast pace. That's sub 60-minute pace. That would be a personal best for Mo Farah and for others in this group as well. So a good fast early pace being set here, and Keegan, who's been used to doing that, I'm just wondering, Brendan, whether Mo has asked Keegan to help him go a bit quick today, because he did say, yeah, I just want to win today. But Mo Farah never likes to do things too easily, and he's already breaking this group up.
The group is breaking up by Keegan, a training partner in the past, who won that event in London. He was the first Ugandan athlete since the great John Akibua in 1972 to win an Olympic gold medal, and that was much celebrated back in his homeland of Uganda.
On that, and that's a roundabout, another a little bit slow perhaps through that mile section. One or two up and down. I always call the Great North Run a bit of an undulating course, really. There's not many big hills. There's nowhere where you kind of get worried about going uphill for a long time. But battle for second place here. So Kalel was with this group with the Olympic champion Tiki Galana, Olympic marathon champion, and Gemma Steele, but now it's just Galana and Gemma Steele contesting second place. And what a great run this is so far from Gemma Steele. Really is mixing it with some big names here.
She's looking really strong. You can see there Caroline Kalel paying the price for having gone with Gemma and tried to move it up, as Gemma takes her own personalised drink there, which I think I'm taking as a good sign, because that means that
well, back in the men's race, there's been one or two little developments here. The first is that Kiprotich has dropped off this pretty good pace being set by Keegan, and Mo Farah just for a second was fidgeting a little bit. Ayeko moved behind Keegan, but Mo looks as though he's relaxed again. Has a little look behind, sees that Kiprotich is quickly disappearing into the distance. They've passed the Hughes roundabout now, and we'll head towards Whitemare Pool, and we'll be getting a bit more of an update on the splits. That they've done a pretty solid first 4 miles at around about an hour.
Man who just recently won the European 5 and 10,000 metres. They're starting to look comfortable again, but Steve's right. He was little fidgeting a bit and looking around and not sure quite what happened. But suddenly you sense 22 minutes on the clock. Mo Farah relaxing into this race.
Well, the good news is that Mo Farah, the lead of the men's race and running very well in the women's race, just about to pass through 15 kilometres here, is Gemma Steele, who's moved into a clear second place ahead of the Olympic marathon champion Tiki Galana of Ethiopia. A long way ahead is Mary Catani, who's still running very well, but Gemma Steele is making very good progress here. Obviously had to slow down after that very fast early pace here, but she's staying strong, and Mary Catani's pace has just dropped a little bit, and I did detect a little smile on Paula Radcliffe's face. Probably know more about Thomas than we do, but he's just for the first time it looks as though he's starting to struggle with this pace. Good pace, keep pushing on. Fast part of the course here, taking advantage of this flat section from Whitemare Pool, and Keegan and Mo Farah just putting the pressure on here, gradually moving away from the Ugandan.
It was almost, come on Mike, let's just go a little bit quicker. The gap's beginning to open. I don't want to get caught out as they go through 10k, 28 minutes and about 18 seconds, so it is quick. 28.19 and Mo the same. Ayeko just a second behind them, but Mike Keegan is pressing and pushing, and Mo's delighted to have a little bit of company. Not at the halfway point yet, so there's an awful lot of running to be done. And we saw Mo when he first came out after these disappointment at missing the Commonwealth Games. He wasn't able to run there, he was ill at the time.
That course record, 65 minutes and 40 seconds, held by Paula Radcliffe. And, well, you must be getting a little bit nervous, Paula. This is a great run from Kitani. It's an excellent performance so far, whatever happens, but she's still looking strong.
She's looking very, very strong. As you said, that is an uphill mile there, and usually one where you slow quite a bit, but she managed to maintain her pace within 5 seconds of previous mile, and she's over marker, and I would say she would be around the 67 high, 68 minute mark probably now.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think Gemma Steele, you know, we've seen her distinguish herself on the country, we've seen her run well at the shorter road races. This half marathon, she looks as though she's well on the way to a massive personal best. And then she's, you know, she's feeling the pressure of everyone telling her to run the marathon. And I think, Paula, I think you should spend some time with.
Just gone past York Avenue, and well, we all used to run many miles along these streets around South Tyneside, and in those days, of course, it was quite a lonely thing to do, to be honest. There wasn't too many people out there.
A bit lonelier than it is today. They're coming down the slight incline here. Lots of people out gathered around, particularly a few yards ahead of them. But Mike Keegan doing a fine job. Doing a fine job there. Trying to win the race, maybe. They're trying to keep Mo going, but Mo looks really strong.
Not far from the finish, actually, now is Mary Kitani. She's been making fabulous progress, and that course record of 65 minutes and 40. Well, you can just see there another quick split there, 5 minutes and 5 for that previous mile, and she really is motoring here. We're looking at something special here, and I know Paula Radcliffe always likes to see people run well, but I'm sorry, Paula, I'm beginning to think that that record of yours is going to
that corner now, and she will get a lot of support and a lot of information now, I think, from the crowd here, telling her just how quick she's running and how well she's doing.
She's going to smash her personal best to smithereens. Gemma Steele running the best international race we've seen from her at a half marathon. The future beckons for Gemma Steele, maybe at a longer distance, maybe at cross country, but we're looking at a phenomenal performance by Mary Kitani, coming back after having 2 children, the woman who's run second fastest marathon after Paula Radcliffe, the lady who I thought would revise the times of marathon running the way we saw her coming into London in 2012. We thought she was the future of marathon running. Well, maybe she is the future of marathon.
She's 2 seconds at that 20k. You saw that split come up, 62.23 while Brendan was talking. 2 seconds slower than you went through the 20k point. It's all about this last kilometre or so here. Well, she's into the last kilometre now. She's got about 800, less than 800 to go. Can she raise something?
I think she can do it there. I was watching her move through the 800 metre to go marker, and I think that left her around about 2:30 to cover that last 800 metres in, which is, what, a 5-minute mile. So she should be able to do that and pick it up.
South Shields will see Mary Kitani coming through with 400 metres to go, 64 minutes and 23 seconds. So she's got a bit to do. She really has got a bit to do. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. But whatever happens, that's a great performance by Mary Kitani.
The course record set in 2003, Paula Radcliffe, 65 minutes and 40 seconds, within sight of Mary Kitani. The finish line in her focus, just wandering around the bollards there. She needs to really raise her game and find a bit of a sprint here. Mary Kitani, never beaten over the half marathon distance. This will be her 9th consecutive win. She's got 200 metres to go. She's got to cover it in a very quick 30-odd seconds or so. I'm not sure she's going to be able to do that. Mary Kitani with a bright future ahead of her, I'm sure, at the marathon distance. What sort of time can she produce here at the Great North Run? She's dominated this race from the very beginning. set a fast pace. The others dropped away, couldn't keep with her, left it all to her. The question is now, is she going to break the course record? The clock is ticking as she approaches the finish line. Mary Kitani of Kenya, it's going to be oh so close. She wins it and ties the record. We'll have to get official confirmation of that. 65-40 to Paula Radcliffe in 2003.
I think it might have to get rounded up.
65-40. Paula Radcliffe said, surely it gets rounded up. One thing you can't say though, that...
And he has another outstanding performance in second place, getting great support from the crowd. Gemma Steele of Great Britain chopping minutes of her personal best time. And as long as she knows it, 66 minutes coming up with 400 meters to go. So Gemma Steele, the athlete who's been outstanding on the country. She's been very good on the short distances on the roads. She's a reluctant marathon runner. She nearly ran London, but then didn't. And she said to me, I'm scared about the marathon. I'm not sure I want to do it. Everybody wants me to do it, but I'm going to look forward to the Great North Run, which she's doing now. And her next target, believe it or not, is the European Cross Country Championship. But here she comes, a brilliant performance by Gemma Steele.
She's tired and she's working hard. She looks at her watch one more time. There's a big clock ahead of you, Gemma. That'll tell you that you're heading for a big personal best. She'll be able to see it now as she comes around this little bit of a traffic island, and she'll have just over 200 meters to go. She's stuck with the very fast pace being set by Kitani. It was a brave, brave thing to do. There were better runners supposedly in the field here today, including the winner of the London Marathon, Edna Kiplagat, including the Olympic marathon champion, Tiki Galana. One more look at the watch for Gemma Steele, and she can see it is ticking away, but her personal best is going to be completely revised here, and she's heading for one of the quickest ever half marathon times by a British woman. Paula Radcliffe, of course, tops that list. Liz McColgan, the second best. That time's gone. Then Mara Yamauchi with the third best of 68.29. She's going to be inside that. She's going to go into the top 3 all-time half marathon times for a British athlete. Gemma Steele, second place in the Great North Run. Huge personal best. Well done, Gemma. Great performance from Gemma Steele, and look how delighted she is, and so she should be. We'll get the official clocking for her as well. And Gemma Steele knows that it's been a huge, huge day for her. What is in store for her in the future of the marathon distance, we'll, I guess, eventually find out as we see the Olympic marathon champion Tiki Galana coming through in a pretty respectable time of 68.43. And the news coming to me at the minute is the official time of the winner. And I'm sorry, Paula, but I have to say that the new course record holder for the Great North Run is Mary Kitani. 65 minutes and 39 seconds is the official time. And there she is, celebrating with Gemma Steele and with Tiki Galana. A very high quality 1, 2, 3 in the 2014 Great North Run. And still a smile on Paula's face. We'll come back to Paula in a second, but look at this. Keegan, the man who trains with Mo Farah in the past, who is well known to him, who has set the pace not only for Mo in the past, but for Galen Rupp, his training partner, is turning the pressure, turning the screw, and Mo Farah just struggling a little bit here. He tried to stay with Kenenisa Bakila and Haile Gebrselassie last year and only lost out in a sprint. He needs to hang on to Keegan here, because at this stage of the race, Brendan, you cannot let somebody get away.
Next place, having won 2 medals in the European Championships, and it's great to see Andy sticking to his task. And eventually, I think Andy Vernon will run a good 10 mile, will run a very good half marathon, but he's had a hard season. At 15 kilometers, he's in 6th place there. Looking at his watch, he knows exactly what he's doing.
Behind him, and now if he can just stay with Keegan onto the seafront, I'm sure he'll be able to do that, because Keegan, I'm sure, must have gone a bit quick through that section there. Surely he can't find another couple of miles under 4:30.
Yeah, I think Mo will have had a little bit of a shock there, though. I don't think he was expecting, I mean, he spoke about wanting to win the race and times not being important. I don't think he was expecting Mike Keegan to take the race to him quite as fast as he did. And I think that's a good move by Mike Keegan. He's tried to use the surprise element and to make it a hard race for Mo. And Mo's managed to hang on, went through a little bit of a rough stage there between 9 and 10 miles, but now is back comfortably behind Keegan, and the closer he gets to the finish, the more it is into his territory now.
And Mo Farah, because they're still on around about that 60-minute pace. If they can finish strongly here, and that would be a big run from Mo if he were to get under 60 minutes, given everything that's happened to him this year. But Keegan is not letting him have it easy at all. He's still pushing on. There's still a 3-meter gap, and you never quite like to see that. You always like to see people right alongside at this point, or at least tucked in right behind them. 3-4 meters. I just always think that Mo sometimes thinks I'm okay here, but you just got to be careful that doesn't grow. He's okay there, but just don't let that grow.
If you're in complete control at that point, there's the third placer, there's the Olympic. Is that Kiprotich, or is that, no, that's a Yeko, the other, yeah, that's the other Ugandan athlete. In third place there, running through the nook, getting some support there too. He's in a bit of a lonely place now. He's well behind the leaders, and he looks as though there's a fair gap to some of his teammates behind him. But that's Thomas Ayeku of Uganda. And at this point, we're still wondering now what's happening up front. Has the race changed? Has Mo got any closer? Can he hang on? And there's the overhead shot. 4 or 5 years, but this is a hard one. Running a half marathon at this pace, no matter who you are, is going to hurt. So Mo's hurting, but he's got to keep control. He's got to keep his mind on the job. That yard or two is 3 or 4 yards now.
And it was a slow mile. Look at that 4:46, and he's still hurting. You'd think of the 4:46 in there, he'd be a bit more relaxed. But I think, you know, if he can just hang on here, and don't forget last year, as he approached this area, he looked pretty good, and we thought he was in a good position. And then they came to this steep downhill onto the seafront, and that's where a little bit of a gap was created, where Bekele just opened up a little bit. Mo had to work so hard to try and get back to him in the last mile. And all of a sudden again, Keegan just stretching, moving, or trying to move away, and Mo working so hard to try and hang on. And let's see in this next quarter of a mile or so how he contends with a steep downhill section.
But you know what? You know that Mo Farah will work hard. You know that he'll always give a... Seeing him a little bit close, and now Mo Farah relaxing again. But, you know, if you were in complete control, Steve, or Paula was running like this, Paula, you would be right next to him, wouldn't you? You wouldn't give him the 3 yards.
I would, but if I was Mike Keegan trying to win this race as well, I wouldn't just look over my shoulder like that and then almost slow down and allow the gap that I'd worked hard to establish almost to close back up again. And I think as we see the downhill section, Mo can actually use that in the way that Kenenisa Bekele used it last year to gain a gap and to gain an advantage, and certainly to close that gap very easily. And once he drops...
Just concentrate, as Paul is suggesting, just go for it and try and break Mo Farah. Mo's working hard, you can see that, and he knows what's coming. He knows this steep downhill section is could be crucial here. Who's going to negotiate it the best? They're going to go around the little roundabout, and that's the closest that Mo Farah has been. And Mo, as Brendan was saying, is thinking about this. He knows it's coming. He's going to go around this roundabout. Is he going to try and go past Keegan here? He didn't do it very well last year. Let's see what happens this time. It is so steep here. It's hard to really explain to people if you haven't done this. You've been running, you're tired, and all of a sudden you've got to use bits of your legs that you don't want to use down here.
I don't know which bits of his legs that he doesn't want to use he's going to use, Steve, but I'll tell you what, there he is negotiating that hill slightly better than last year. Not in control yet, not in a winning position yet, but within striking distance. Mike Keegan running aggressively too, and as they turn at the bottom of the hill and they look a long, long way down to here where we are at the finish, it's going to be a long, hard run here. No question about it. Mo Farah a little bit closer. So the downhill bit there from Mo Farah was pretty successful. But now he's a sprinter. He knows he can run fast in the last 400 meters. He's just got to keep that yard or two. He's just got to keep close, because over a 400-meter sprint, Mo would clearly be the fastest. And now into the last mile, 55 minutes on the clock. It's going to be very, very close to the 60-minute. It may even be close to Mo's personal best. And if he knows that information, he's an athlete who gathers personal bests. It hasn't been a year for Mo Farah for personal bests. Could it be today?
Well, I'm just wondering if that's been his aim all along here today, Brendan. Now, watching him there, has he been working together with Mike Keegan to try and break that 60-minute barrier, which is a huge barrier, and it looks as though this race by Mike Keegan has almost been set up perfectly to get Mo under that barrier here today. So we might see the first British winner for a long time, but I think more importantly, we might see them go under the 60-minute barrier.
Well, Keegan almost encouraging Mo Farah, chatting away to him there, and you may well be right, Paula. He's done a great job here for Farah, if that turns out to be the case. And Mo Farah just checks there's no danger behind, only a man on a bike who's protecting them. And Mo Farah now comes into the part of the race which is very much his domain, and it could well be, as Brendan was saying, that he's going to get close to his personal best, not too far away. Really depends on how hard they race this bit. They seem to be running together now. Seems as though Keegan is just allowing Mo to run alongside him, and they did have a little bit of a chat about a minute or so ago. And Mo Farah will be pleased that he's just managed to stay close enough, and hopefully we'll be able to strike in the last 400 meters.
Well, I was getting a little less anxious. Now I'm getting a little more anxious, because suddenly, maybe listening to your commentary, Steve, Mike Keegan's kicked off again. They had a little look at one another, they had a little go at one another, and Mike Keegan stretching out again. Mo Farah, the track runner, Mo Farah, the champion. Mo Farah knows his times, he knows his distances, and when he sees the signs, that's 20 kilometers, 1.1 kilometers remaining, and he's a second behind Mike Keegan. So he's run well to that point. He's got to run 3 minutes for the last kilometre. Can Mo Farah do that to break the 60-minute barrier? I hope he's getting the information. As they come down the road, the gap opens a little, and Mo gives us another bout of nerves. Can we see the first British winner since 1985?
And Keegan almost waiting for him again. He's had a gap, and then he looks behind, sees he has a gap, and Mo Farah then comes back alongside him. And is Mo Farah going to push on this time? Mo Farah, for the first time, moves to the front in the Great North Run here. Keegan, who's been the long-time leader, the man forcing the pace, now watches as Mo Farah picks it up. And Mo is on the downhill section now. He'll be able to see the big crowds in the distance. He'll be just about able to pick out the finish line. So many people between him and the line. But he knows now that if he can just finish this off well, produce the sort of finish he did last year, surely the win will be his. Around about 600 meters to go.
He's got to go for it. He's got to really go now and try and win this by a few yards. Mike Keegan still threatening there in second place. But Mo Farah, the sprinter, Mo Farah, the Olympic and world champion, Mo Farah, this year's European 5 and 10,000 meter champion. We've got to see what kind of finish Mo Farah has at the end of a half marathon. It's as close, he's nearly as fast as he's ever run before at this distance, but he's still got company. He's still got to win this race. It's so exciting and so nerve-wracking, but can we see Mo Farah become the first British athlete to win the Great North Run since 1985?
400 meters to go, a sub-60-second last 400 we'd expect on the track. Can he produce it on the roads to go under the 1 hour mark in the half marathon? He hasn't got this race won yet. The crowd are trying to lift him. They know what happened last year when he just couldn't quite overhaul Kenenisa Bekele, but this time he's the man at the front. He's the man forcing the pace. Mike Keegan, who's so familiar to him, is still very close, but surely Keegan can't outkick the great Mo Farah. He's never done it in the past. I'm sure he can't be able to do it here, but here we have 200 to go, and there goes Farah. Keegan, no answer to this, and Farah moves 3 meters clear, 4 meters clear, continues to go away. One last look over the shoulder. He's still gritting his teeth, kicking hard, has one more look behind. He's being cheered on by the huge crowd here. It's a huge day for the Great North Run. Will it be so for Mo Farah? Keegan coming back again. There's only a metre in between it. He's got to hang on. Mo Farah wins the Great North Run right on the 1 hour mark. A new personal best for Farah. Wins by the smallest of margins from Mike Keegan. Great race from Keegan. He forced the pace for so long, and Farah just had enough in the end, but goodness me, that was hard work. It wasn't an easy day at the office. It wasn't a run where he could just relax. He had to keep working, and he's produced a new personal best and, of course, a British best for the half marathon distance.
Well, he knows he's been at work today, but nobody can run 60 minutes for a half marathon without working so hard. And Mo is a grafter, Mo is a champion, and today, after 1985, Steve Kenyon winning the Great North Run, it's a delight for all these fans here at the finish to see the Mo. A hard race by Mo Farah. He knows he's had a race. Mike Keegan's run an exceptional race today, and we've had Mo Farah return to winning ways, and I think he needs a long rest now.
Race for third place, the Olympic and world champion Stephen Kiprotich of Uganda. Just has a little look over his shoulder because Tariku Bekele threatening there, but he's okay now. And Kiprotich coming through. So Kiprotich just checking. Ayeko had been in third place but has dropped back, and Kiprotich takes third spot. Then Tariku Bekele. Ayeko, I can see just up the road ahead of me, is coming down. It will be in fifth place, and he's faded badly over the last 2-3 miles. And they're all just asking who won. Did he win it, Mo? And he goes, yeah, but only just. Only just.
You get 1, 2, 3.
Pete got 59.59.
So there's Ayeko, who went with the early pace, stayed with Mo Farah for quite a while, and was certainly looking strong in third 3 miles back, but has seen Kiprotich and Bekele just go past him. And then we're hoping, in fact I can see him, there he is, Andy Vernon, and Andy Vernon's run a pretty good strong race here as well, as Andy can see the finish line and heading towards a big personal best. His best is only 64.43. I say only because Andy's a very good runner, so he was bound to improve that. Of course he didn't prepare for this. The European Championships were his target for the summer. This has been a bit of a bonus. What a nice way to finish with a new personal best of the half marathon distance, 6th place in this year's Great North Run. Well, there's your top 3. A new British best and a personal best for Mo Farah. Keegan, great run from him in 2nd place. And Stephen Kiprotich, I'm sure, in a field of this stature, will be delighted with his 3rd spot as well. Another great race at the Great North Run.
Down to the very last second. The elite men's race, down to the last stride or two. And still, don't forget, 50.